Three,
And we're
two,
live.
one. Welcome all to the Speakeasy podcast. We are back in a special episode, New Year's Eve. Let's go, ladies and
Ah,
gentlemen. I am Daryl.
I'm Phil.
What's your name, cuz?
I'm Sarah. What's up?
Every single episode. Yeah, every single episode.
Boy, all the way from San Leo. Oh man, it's my internet.
Yeah, every single episode. Every
Hold
single
on, let me fix
episode.
that real
It's a
quick.
thing.
All right.
Hey, fix that real quick.
Introduce yourself
I'm
again,
fi- I,
because you fucking froze.
I fixed it. I fixed it. I fixed it. No more lags, bro. Hold on, no more lags.
All right.
That's
Jesus.
a good start.
Okay,
That's a
rerun
good
the intro.
start.
Rerun the intro.
All
Rerun the intro.
right.
Solid.
I'm
Rerun the
Daryl.
intro.
I'm Daryl.
Phil.
What's your name,
I'm
cuz?
Sarah. What's up?
What is your name?
All right. So, how
You
you
guys, no,
guys?
don't tell me you guys didn't hear that. Come on.
No, we heard it. We
I'm
heard it.
here, bro. Like,
Yeah,
hey.
yeah, we hear. Yeah, we hear you.
Ah,
We
good.
good.
We good.
How have you guys
Awesome.
been
All
doing?
right.
How have you guys been doing?
Pretty all right. All things
Gucci,
considered.
Gucci.
Gucci
I see
gang.
Gucci.
Yeah,
How about you, Mister?
I might be tested positive. I don't know. There's a whole issue I want to fucking talk about
Yeah.
concerning the testing method. So
Shoot, man.
so as I told you guys, I may because someone like my mom was tested positive, right?
Right.
So I went to go get tested to see if I was positive as well, but then they told me that I couldn't get tested today because I have to wait 6 days after the symptoms before I could before the test could actually detect whether or not I'm positive or not. So I'm here like, what the hell? This makes no sense whatsoever. If the testing method is not accurate, you have to wait 6 days post symptom to fucking figure to understand or to know whether or not you're positive or not, which is kind of weird
Yeah.
in a way, because and also at the same time, like the whole organizing, like the follow-ups and all that stuff is so like not organized, because they're like,
Vegas shit, isn't it?
no, they just don't know, like they have no file of you. It's like, it's fucking weird. So I'm like, yo, these numbers are going up and down and shit. I'm like, yo, it makes a lot complete sense, because this whole fucking thing is not is not organized at all. So it makes me wonder, like,
How many times did I tell you this whole thing is a mess? How many times I gotta tell you this whole thing was a mess from the start? Even
Right.
their testing is a mess, man.
It's
They even rushed through the vaccine, dude. They even rushed through it, bro. They skipped like testing steps and stuff, the crucial steps to like test if whether
there's
the
two
vaccine
steps.
is
There's
like
two.
big steps. You know what I'm saying? People are just rushing it out so that people could go back to their normal lives. But like, yo, whoever is gonna take that COVID test, that COVID like vaccine, I will pray for you.
Yo, funny anecdote on that. Did you see I think it was the president of Jamaica? He was like, okay, if you guys we leave the big countries like the US, Canada, and the UK to try it, and then if it's good, then we go.
Yo, that's it. You gotta test it among the masses. If everybody dies, then yo, we're lucky that we can.
Yo, man, he actually said, yo, let them do it first, and then
Let them do it.
if they're fine, we'll do it.
I mean, there's another thing too at play, which is a lot of people say that they're willing to take it instantly, but those are the people that won't be taking it first, because it's going to be distributed to the people in danger first.
Yeah.
So the elderly.
Yeah.
So, your average 30, 20, 40-year-old who says, oh, I'll just take it immediately. They won't. They'll get to see the results on other people first.
Yeah. Which reminds me, do you guys well, first of all, will you guys take it or will you guys wait before?
Hell no.
The problem is the thing is I don't know about the because the consequences of the actual like vaccine itself seems to be sometimes a lot worse than the actual like virus that we're trying to combat.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen the reactions to people who have allergies? They're fucked.
Oh, I've seen it. Yo, there's a nurse that took the vaccine, and she was speaking in a sort of like press conference. She was speaking to a lot of people. 10 minutes later, after the first injection, she fainted.
Yeah,
on live TV.
I don't know. Like for me, For me, like sometimes it's just weird.
If you see that and you're still willing to take the vaccine, then I'll pray for you, my friend.
My opinion on the subject is that my thoughts right now on it don't matter because information will be revealed within the next few weeks that will like make whatever thought I have on it now irrelevant. So I don't like pause it about it much because I tell myself, well, anyways, I'm not going to be among the first people getting it. I'm going to be among the last people getting it.
Yeah.
So it's not even a choice.
It's weeks. I don't think it's weeks. I think we'll know eventually what's in it in months.
Yeah.
Well, either way, it's just the fact is we're not the ones that are going to be getting it.
We're not the first ones.
It's not going to be distributed for the public like us immediately.
They're going to be handed to like the hospitals first
Exactly.
and stuff, like emergency centers.
You know, like either way, I'm not going to be confronted with the choice. So I'm kind of just trying to project like in case this or in case that, but it's all just.
Are you the kind of person to like, as soon as like you see the opportunity to whether or not to take the vaccine, do you make a decision on the spot, or are you the type of person to go home and think about it?
Go home and think about it.
I believe in that too, because I believe that making decisions on the spot is very bad. Like I feel like you should like go home, do your research, and see like who took the vaccine and what happened to them before you even consider it. How about you, Daryl?
Yeah, honestly, I should. I would honestly weigh my options because at the same time, like the risk of sometimes because the risk of getting the vaccine is a lot worse than the actual like disease itself. Like for me, I don't know. It's just me personally. Whenever I get like a flu shot, I get really fucking sick. Whereas when I get the flu, like my symptoms is like it mimics a cold. So like I just like for a week I'll be like ill, but then I'm not severely ill. I could still do other shit. Whereas like when I get a vaccine, I'm like dead. Like I'm like I just can't like walk out. Like my face all fucked up, and I take shits every 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really bad. You know. So I don't know if it's just a personal thing. Like my mom too does the same thing where she's like when she gets a flu shot, she gets like really sick. So like I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like
a shot is like getting a vaccine is exposing yourself to a minimal amount of that virus. So you're gonna get like some symptoms of it in a way.
Yeah, a non-aggressive version of the
exactly.
But at the same time, like it's sort of for me like getting the flu. It's like sort of I don't know. It never like drops me. You know, like when I got a stomach flu for like 3 days, I was ill, and then after that, I was just like, okay, I'm fine. I was able to move and do stuff, but like.
But to add on to that, like here's my argument. Why would you take a vaccine if you're young and healthy enough to fight it with your own immune system? And we could see like through the data, like people getting the virus, that young people like come out of it pretty okay. Like you see people that got tested positive for COVID-19 and they felt nothing. They didn't feel they felt no primary symptoms. They felt no secondary symptoms. They felt fine. They didn't even get a cold. They just like got like a little itch in the throat and they slept it off. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you take something that's gonna fight it where you're able to fight it yourself?
I agree with a sense of the statement in the sense that like there's a lot of people that don't need it in the circumstance right now. But there are a lot of young people who don't have powerful immune systems, and I feel like we can't just leave those people to die. You know, you can't just make a call of like no one's getting any vaccine because everyone has to deal with it. You know, like just
no. Let me rephrase what I said because I think Philip misunderstood me a little bit. I'm just saying that those who are young and healthy, those who are capable of, you know, fighting a cold. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many times did you catch a cold, Philip? There, like so many times, right? Yeah. And we got over it. Eventually, we didn't die from it, right?
Right.
Because those who have immune system problems, those who have pre-existing conditions, those who are the most vulnerable, they're in the same category as elderly people.
Okay.
I put them in the same category as the vulnerable. Like when I say that people like they're able to fight it, meaning that people that are healthy enough to follow. That's what I meant.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I completely agree then. Yeah.
Well, I also think that the fact a major factor is also like because personal health also is a major factor. So I think fitness as well is also a major factor, which I think like a lot of people who have because I read it was people who are like obese who have like problem like pulmonary problems or heart problems or those are the ones who have like the severest symptoms, whereas those who are active or fit who have I'm not saying like fucking everyone bodybuilders and all that stuff to be like healthy. I'm talking about actually healthy, like eating healthy, actively moving and not just like sitting down or roiding yourself up, whatever. I'm talking about like real people who actually like I'm saying like not like physically like you guys are like healthy. Those people have tend to have a better reaction to the virus as opposed to the people who have like sort of um I guess bad life choices where they like start overeating or you just like they start doing drugs or whatever the fuck like those type of people I feel like are also a factor, like those type of like of behaviors also a factor in the response of how you deal with these types of illnesses. Which is also another a topic I wanted to talk about. It was do you think after COVID people will adapt a healthier lifestyle, or do you think fuck it, they're just gonna be like, what, I survived it, I'll do it again?
I
Yeah,
hope. I really hope that people learn from this whole experience, right? I really hope so,
but
but I'm not
hard
convinced.
that just come on, Philip. I know you're trying to like sugarcoat it, but like, come on, man, you gotta spit it sometimes. You gotta say like, nah, bro. The general population is so dumb that they're gonna do the same bullshit again. You just gotta say it straight, bro.
It, it's
Phil being realistic.
it's not looking
You gotta
good.
the real.
No, I mean like because to be honest, like even like when everyone's like been like perpetuating the image of washing your hands and clean yourself and sanitizing whatever and like actually like adapting a healthy
Yeah,
hygiene behavior, uh, people still don't follow that shit. Like a lot of people
yeah,
I know that they go out to fucking the bathroom and don't wash their hands, or
right.
they go play outside and don't wash their hands and they go to bed. I was like, yo, this is completely bypassing the whole point of this. Like,
Right.
the whole
It
point is to
starts at
adapt.
home.
Exactly.
Everything starts at home. Like if if the rules are not followed at home, if hygiene is not followed at home, if anything isn't followed at home, it's gonna portray later on. It's not gonna. It's not like, oh, because we went through a pandemic slash lockdown that people are gonna be like, okay, well, let's pay more attention. Not gonna pay more attention because it's a sequence of habits.
Yeah.
If those sequences are not there, you're just gonna follow the same path again. You're just gonna
Yeah.
follow the same loop.
That's why
Doesn't
I
end.
think it's a shame because this is a good opportunity right now. Since right now there's barely any distractions, you are forced to be at home. It's also
Yeah.
it's a good a good opportunity to adapt healthy behaviors so that whenever this whole lockdown ceases, we could actually like better ourselves and actually learn something from it
I
instead of just
agree that the confinement actually allows a lot of people who, usually are like working 24/7, don't have like the mental space to dedicate to learning new habits, new things, changing their worldviews, actually.
yeah.
Like, I think this is more on a topic we'll talk about soon about like the rest of 2020, but
Yeah.
I think that this actually allows a lot of people to get invested politically because a lot of people don't take the time to, or rather make themselves a black and white binary of, okay, so these are the bad guys, which
Yeah.
means these are the good guys.
Yeah. And
And
actually assessing and understanding the concept of why.
right, understanding a lot of like implications that a
Yeah.
lot of decisions have.
I think also a lot of people will adapt to a more fitness based lifestyle. I think a lot of people who are gonna be like, who are pro sort of plus size models and all that stuff. They're gonna be more. So we should focus on what's real, and health is wealth. And like, great that you want us to be like, yes, you know, we should respect everyone. That is that is that is contradicting that. However, you should be real with yourself and saying that being overweight is not a good thing, and that yes, it is going to be hard for a lot of people to lose that weight, but that's the whole challenge. That's the whole point. It takes work to be better. if
It's one phrase, if I
it's
can
not
put
if
it.
it's not physical, it's mental. If it's not mental, it's emotional. It's always that's why the people who have succeeded all have gone through fucking hell and back,
They
and
went
understand the
through
struggle.
it again and again and again. Like, yo, there's some people I know personally at the gym, like when it was still. um,
back when I was
and
fit, now I'm a fast.
yeah. Back when I used to be like this,
Oh
and now that
jeez.
I'm like this. But like, they tell me their stories. They tell me like how they were like 300 plus pounds. They were out of shape. They were sitting at home. They were not motivated, and they they went through the process to getting fit, and then they went back to it, and then they went back at it again.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you say this? It's
It's a
when
process.
it's a process. You know what I'm saying? Like, people can go through it multiple times in their lifetime. It's normal. It's not something that's like,
Yeah.
it's not heard of. It is. You can hear like a bunch of stories. I heard a story about a fitness trainer that got fat on purpose
So
to
that he can
train
lose weight.
with his clients, and
Yeah.
I saw that, and he gained like, I don't know, around like 50 pounds of just
Yeah.
fat.
And then he
He
then
was
he
just like
lost it.
munching on some Wendy's, some McDonald's,
Yeah.
ice cream for like months, and he gained all that weight,
Yeah.
and he still managed to lose it all and get back to his shape and even better.
Yeah.
That's very impressive.
But that's the point. Like, you gotta show, like, if you could just sum this up in one phrase, like, you have to show that you want to live.
It's determination and also understanding
That's it.
it's having basic values. I think it's also like
If you
what is.
want to live, you gotta work for it. You can just sit there and live, bro. This, like, you gotta see it as the jungle, bro. What happens to an animal if it just sits there?
You are deer in headlights.
Well, it gets eaten. It gets devoured.
Oh my
It becomes
god.
poo.
That's a very cruel way of looking at the world. I
Hey
find.
man,
You
the
are you are
world is not a beautiful place, man. I don't know who said that, but like, the world, bro, is a bad place, man.
he's
You
he's
gotta be tough.
he's
Tough.
optimistic. That's why he's optimistic.
But being having that toughness is not a bad thing. Like, you obviously think that the world is a good place, Philip. Like, obviously, like, everybody believes that inside them, right? But
or
if
hopes
you want
or
to look at
hopes.
it, exactly, hopes. That's where hopes and dreams are. But from the inside, you got to see it that way. You got to see that I got to be tough enough to handle whatever comes after me.
Hmm.
Whatever life throws at me, I gotta be tough enough to handle it. That's how I see it. But life is a good thing, bro. It's just, you gotta see it like you're constantly being tested,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and you gotta pass that test in order to move on with your life.
Yeah, I think this year, granted, it's a lot of negative stuff that's been going on, but also I think it also helps people to sharpen their minds as well. To
Yeah.
because priorities right now, back in the day, back in the day, a year ago, was sort of all over the fucking place. We got we got to prioritize on getting rich. Okay, that's great. What now? At what cost? You know what I'm saying? Oh, we gotta get the beautiful cars and all that stuff, and then you
Right.
realize, oh shit, my health is a piece of shit. I'm going downhill real quick. So I think nowadays people are getting the idea of how to prioritize what's most important to them,
Hmm.
realizing what is or who are the real friends that have their back, and also realizing what the real goal is at the end of the day. Is it that's why one of my questions was sort of what's more important, happiness or security? Is it more sort of like, well, I mean, falsely happiness, it's sort of like this sort of cheap thrills. Is it cheap thrills or more like having a long term goal that will secure a future for yourself? So like a lot of people will be facing they want short-term wealth, so they get like millions of dollars and whatnot, and then just
Mm.
fucking spend it on cars.
Yeah,
Versus someone who's starting up slow, who's like, oh, you broke, you ain't got money, but then long term, that person becomes,
Yeah.
I don't know, he got a family, he could pay for his mortgage, he has a idea of what is true and what is important, and so that's why one of my questions for you guys is, what do you think of the idea that sort of cheap thrills is something that is worth chasing, especially from a young person's perspective. So when you were younger, you were like, oh, I want to have a car, and then once you have a car, you're like, oh shit, this is not worth it.
All I want for my birthday is a big booty. But
I
like, yeah, go ahead, Philip.
okay. I don't think I personally had that phase where I really wanted
like,
things like that.
yeah.
Like I wasn't a cheap thrill seeker, so to speak.
Okay.
I was really like head in my books the whole time,
One of the
like
lucky ones.
out there dreaming. Um, but I guess for some people, it affords them some kind of peace of mind. I guess I don't know, but I'm sure that for some people, these cheap thrills are like what they look forward to in life, so it drives them in a way.
Yeah.
So in a sense, I guess it could be positive, but I I don't personally, I don't speak from a place of knowing that much.
Mm.
I don't see any harm in having a little bit of cheap pills in the life.
Right,
I don't see
right.
any, like if
No,
if ever like you
no,
want
I'm
a
saying,
car,
I'm
you
saying it's
want to
more
have a
like
good time.
I'm saying like it's
Yeah.
prioritizing that, as in
Oh,
like
okay. That's
if
fucked up.
if
Yeah.
your goal is to get a car, and then when like how like
Mm,
say, like for me, for example, when I first got when I first had the idea of people having a car, my mom was like, oh, I'll give you a car.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not really interested in having a car, right? Especially when I got a car, I I,
Mhm.
I realized, yeah, I'm paying more money than this car is worth. Like, granted, the car was like 3,500, so I paid it easy, but like
Mhm.
the insurance, the maintenance, and all that stuff for me was like, oh shit, this is not worth it. So I sold it. Like, I literally got it for 2 months and I sold it. Like,
Why'd you buy it?
no, because my mom wanted me to buy it because of the idea of having, we could go grocery shopping and whatnot, and good travel, whatever. But then I was
Yeah.
like, I realized that long term, first of all, uh, half the year I can't really use it because it's winter. So where am I go? I'm going to school. Where am I going?
Oh, it's a bike.
No, I had a car.
Oh, of course.
But I'm saying I'm one bus stop away from school and one bus stop away from work, and
Oh,
I
okay.
had
What are you gonna use it for?
exactly. So like
Ah, okay.
at work I can't really park because there's parking meters every 4 hours. You gotta fucking move the car, so it's more of a hassle. And at
Yeah,
school,
that's
it's
true.
Concordia, it's downtown. Like, bro, like where am I
right.
parking in the fucking
Yeah,
street?
good luck finding a
Yeah,
parking
I'm
lot.
Yep,
saying.
no way.
And then not to mention, like, the only times I would actually use it is when like we would late night drives and
Right.
right. And when I would come back, it would be such a hassle to find parking because the whole fucking street would be full. And in the winter time, half the street is full of snow.
It's a hassle.
So you're like, bro,
Mhm.
like, unless I have a garage, then nah, there's no point in me, wasting money on something that I wouldn't really use on a daily basis. That's not a necessity. So like, as that goes, I'm saying, like, if you prioritize the cheap thrill, like getting a car, for example, or getting a freaking Rolex, or getting a piece of clothing, whatever, like, and you realizing like, oh shit, this is not worth nothing. Like, for me,
Yeah.
financial security is more important, or like establishing an actual dream that will benefit more, not me, but also my family or my future family. That is what I'm saying. I'm like
Mm,
trying to.
So you think that unless you actually need it, practicality in your life,
It should be the last thing.
it should be the okay. Unless it's something that you need,
Yeah.
like unless that you use the car to commute around like long distances, then
Yeah, like, say if you
sure
if
that's
yeah, if your work is like
a
across
good
town, then
investment.
yeah, why not? Yeah, but like,
Okay.
but
Okay.
yeah.
if you're just there to
Well,
show
So let me
off.
ask you something, Darren.
Okay,
What if we wanted to road trip? What you gonna do?
I could rent a car. I could rent a car.
but renting a car, they're robbing you, bro.
Yeah,
Because
but
not only they're gonna give you a shitty car when you
yeah,
rent it, they're gonna give you a car that might break down on the way. It happened to me a couple times, man. It's
but
dang.
messed
but
up.
yeah, but that
Like
depends
that's why
also
you
on
gotta.
the research. You have to research that shit.
Well, but what I meant by having things just to have that security. I know that you say that you shouldn't have something that you don't need because it's just gonna be a waste of money.
Mm.
But in another sense, when the time comes that because like we're in Montreal, bro, like we move around and stuff. Like we're
Yeah,
we're not like if we're like out in like this like the
suburbs,
countryside and stuff.
suburb.
For
Yeah,
sure, I would have told you, bro, get a car. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah. Obviously, yeah. But we're in the middle of the city, so yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But in your circumstances, I completely understand. But like, don't you have that sort of feeling that maybe one day, even if I live in the middle of the city and I don't need it, like having that car is like sort of like a security for yourself. Like you don't have to depend on anybody else, even if you don't need it though. But like having it as a security, you know what I'm saying?
I think I'll mediate these 2 points where I'll cite in the 40s, the 1940s, there was this paper published by a psychologist called Maslow, I believe, and he talked about the hierarchy of needs. So at the top, he places self-actualization and things that are like achieving your potential, right? Under that is like esteem needs, right? Like the prestige, the feeling that you're accomplished in what you're doing. Under that, it's like belonging and love. Under that, it's safety. And at the bottom is psychological needs like food, water, warmth, rest.
So yeah,
the pyramid builds up.
Yeah.
So you need the foundation first.
Yeah.
To get to the next step, right?
Yeah.
But they all build up to fulfilling you in a sense.
Yeah.
Right? At the top, self-actualization is like it's getting a wider understanding of yourself in relation to the world, right? It does bring something to you. It's just that you need that foundation first.
Well, yeah,
that's true. That's true though. That's right.
Point.
Like because
my point was, I rather like say I had the option if I was like fucking rich, like then yeah, obviously I'd get a bunch of fucking cars. Who gives a shit? But I'm saying like
bro,
as of
get that Lambo, bro, so you can ride it.
As of now, for me, like where I am financially and where I am like in terms of like what I want to accomplish, I'm prioritizing getting my career goals ahead first, right? So obviously I gotta invest in myself to be to fucking to create something. And so when I was assessing what my needs were, right? So security and all that stuff, like the base foundation, I got it. So I'm thinking everyone who has a real family. It's funny because not many people have that real sense of family shit, but like I'm one of the lucky ones. I acknowledge it. I'm one of the people who have like you have a real family. You have that security and like that trust and that love and that bond that really like solidifies you, right?
Right.
So for now, my priority is more sort of accomplishing the goals that I've set out to accomplish.
So you would be on the second to highest pillar. Yeah. You'd be like on the esteem needs.
Exactly. So I wouldn't like for me a car would be like a car unless I really need it, like sort of say I'm shooting across town or whatever, then yes I would. But then think about hindsight. Do I need it every single day? No. So granted, I may get fucked over by getting a rental car, but on the long term, I know that since I'm not gonna use it every single day, like insurance is not gonna fuck me over in the end of the year. I know that if I accidentally crash, I don't have to pay for the insurance. I know that if I sort of if the oil goes to shit, I don't have to pay for the maintenance. And so like if you think about longevity, you may get fucked short term, but long term, you're sort of like you're I guess you're better off not having the car, for example. But that goes for everything as well. That goes for having that goes for having a freaking Rolex.
You can always wear a G-Shock. It looks nice, bro. I agree. Like you don't have to have like the finest of things, and you don't have to have everything that you don't need.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people they prioritize getting like material stuff, like sort of new clothing wear every freaking season and all that stuff, and then it's like, bro, you're broke as fuck. Your credit card's
that's
maxed
the people
out.
Are broke. Exactly. That's the people that are broke, right? But they don't understand this. Like they live life through social media.
But I'm saying, they're trying to compare themselves, which reverts back to one of the topics we talked about this year was sort of the portrayal of social media and the influence it actually does have over people nowadays. And it's like a sort of
it shows people in a very one-dimensional way. Social media, it only portrays the top of what they perceive to be their lives, right? Like they only shows the good things, I guess, or it only shows one facet of someone. The same thing for comments and things like that. It only shows like a bite of the universe of that person. Everyone is an entire universe of complexity.
I have a question. I have a question for you guys regarding comments, because when you guys get negative comments, how do you guys feel? Because I love it. Whenever somebody, I suck at getting compliments. Like when I don't know, when someone gives me compliments, I don't know how to take it. But like when someone gives me insults, I'm like, yo, I'm going to fucking roast this kid. I get to, like, I get permission to like unleash myself.
It's like, if I get like a criticism, I see it as this. I am a puzzle that I'm trying to solve myself. You know. And if someone criticizes me, like directly gives me the answer, they're giving me the answer. This is the answer for this part of the puzzle. I'm this much closer to like unraveling the whole thing. But that means I have to.
The person that left the comment could just be an asshole, you know?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a difference. There's a difference between criticism and actual just hate comments.
But, like usually
you're talking about like constructive comments, right?
Yeah, there's constructive criticism, and then there's actual like dickhead comments. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But which one are we talking about right now?
Well, for me, I'm sorry. I'm like, negative comments could be completely subjective. I mean, like for you guys,
depends on how you see it.
Either way, how do you guys take stuff that you don't agree with? Like,
yeah, well, both ways. I actually, for both, I still consider it an opportunity to reevaluate myself.
Okay.
And try to see, like, is there a blind spot? Is there something that I don't see about myself? Is
very
there
very logical thinker? Very logical thinker.
I see that you take everything like very critically. Like you see a comment and you just decipher it and be like, what is the meaning of this? To me, it's like every single comment has like a story behind it.
Like, makes sense.
Every time, like, especially if it's like someone that I know. Because if it's somebody that I don't know, I just call them stupid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, comments. Well, like there's no meaning. There's nothing I could learn from that comment.
Right.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to like explain to you guys. Like, there's a difference between people that know you and leave comments to troll you, and just to, at the same time like teach you something, or there's like the random people that just leave like bullshit ass comments and you're just giggling by yourself because it's funny.
Well, yeah, on your point, I do think that like I previously mentioned, everyone's an entire universe. A lot of people don't see the full scope of what you are. They don't even see like a fragment, right? So their comment, their not researched comment, those people that you're talking about, they are posing a judgment on that fragment that they perceive of yourself.
Perception.
So it reflects more on them, on how others see this inch of you. Not so much on the entire puzzle, but on a piece of it. Because you tell yourself then, if there's this little part of the puzzle that people see this way, then not only do they not see the rest, this is the part they focus on. That means that is the part they interacted with, or that is the part that they personally prioritize in their mind, in their mental space. So it reflects on them as much as it does on you. You know, and the way they say it as well does reflect on their metal or what they're made of.
What I have to say next is probably your label me as fucking crazy, but who gives a shit? So for me, I sort of, because I was sort of reassessing myself over the years, right? And so I sort of brought it down to there are five different personalities ish in my head. We're like different five versions of me, if you will, that exist. No, they don't fucking like separate yourself completely, so I don't have like, you know, dissociative identity disorder or whatever, but they do have, you know, I do feel them, I do like sort of see the difference between each personality. Whereas one, like I have one that's very sort of like logical thinker that enjoys like psychology, and enjoys like learning and like legit like understanding each sort of like thing in the world as a sort of puzzle that's meant to be cracked. One that's like a hype man that's like just like fucking a party all night long. One's just a fucking narcissist that like really loves himself way too much. One is basically,
I know you got that side of you. I know that.
I'm saying, yeah.
But he's aware of it. So
I am aware of it because I spent years fucking reflecting. I was like, yo, what's okay?
You can't be that narcissistic.
Would you believe me if I told you I saw Daryl look himself in the mirror for an hour straight?
No, bro, I do that shit every single morning, bro. Yo,
really?
Not cap. Like, yo, when I go, like before I go to shower, I look at myself like, yo, check this out, bro. Check, we're getting abs out here. But that's besides the point. I got and I have one personality that's sort of the antagonist, if you will, but is also like the sort of border setter for other people. So like he's like sort of he's not the pushover type character. He's more like the asshole, if you will.
Yeah.
That like sort of that's basically a psychopath. Anyways, so he for me, like whenever I get a comment like that's negative, like that part of my brain enjoys it because it's like oh, okay, I got permission to fucking roast this fool.
I got the clear, bro.
Now it's like I'm waiting for a green light. Like he's always waiting for a green light. It's like, all right, we good? Can we go now? Can we go?
It's like an army waiting for a pact to be broken so that they could raid the other town.
Exactly. So whenever I'm confronted with a situation where like it's as there's a negative, like someone's saying something negative about me or whatever, like there's always a part of me like that always wants to like that rejoices in it, that really loves it, but the like me like Daryl, I guess, chooses to like sort of like, nah, let's think about it in a more psychological way. Like why did they say that? Why are they saying that? Reflect yourself. So I think ultimately my point is I think every single person has a side of them where they have the choice to either let the comment attack and sort of hurt you, or use it as a sort of as a guiding tool, I guess, if you say,
to reflect back the roast, like
to fucking Captain America that bitch and shoot it back at them.
Right back at you.
But yeah, it's fucking weird, man. It's fucking weird.
I think on that notion of like accepting a comment or not, like a criticism, a notion that really helps at all times, I find, deal with negative emotions, is the notion that people change. People always change. People are ever changing. Every second, people change. And so that's why I don't believe in like, I don't personally believe in the death penalty, for example.
Okay.
I think people can always change, and we should hope for the best for people to change, because that'll invite them to challenge themselves and want to change, instead of being combative.
Yeah.
But so realizing this, that people change, when you receive a criticism, then you tell yourself, okay, so me from 5 seconds ago made a perceived mistake. Me now and me in 5 seconds has learned the lesson and is a different person. And now I've learned this. It's a building block for me. So now I am impervious to this fault, or I may make that mistake again, but I'm slowly building up a wall or a shield against that weakness that I have. I'm not that same person anymore. I'm the one who's learned it now.
However, to that point though, I believe that the only way that people could change is if they want to change. That's the thing. So ultimately, like say for example, the people who are like the Black Lives Matter movement, for example, that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. Because it was one of the biggest things that happened this year.
Yes.
So, for example, like say the police officers who have who've done horrible things to George Floyd and what's the other girl's name? Breonna Taylor is her name?
Yeah, Breonna Taylor.
Imagine those people, right? They've been whenever they do an action, the reaction by the authorities is a sort of a slap on the wrist, say like a sort of a mild touch. So obviously by process of like sort of repetition, they realize that, oh shit, when I do something bad, my consequences aren't as bad as say a black person in the case of America. So in that case, they feel comfortable in doing the things that they do. So ultimately, when we want to have that change, and have those people change, it's a lot harder because they feel safe in their little bubble.
Yeah.
And so like whenever you say, okay, yo, you gotta change uh, your behavior because what you're doing is wrong. It's like, okay, well, what are you gonna do? You're gonna sue me? Oh, great, great. And then 2 weeks later they walk. So
Right.
what I'm saying is ultimately having the sort of, I guess, the death penalty as a sort of a bargaining chip to have to force them to change is ultimately like a last resort that could be that could be used as a sort of like, okay, if you, since you don't understand reason, since you're not complying to reason as to why what you did was wrong, I will impose this punishment, or the government will impose this punishment in order for you to understand that what you're doing right now, but like where you are right now, this safe haven that you think you have is temporary. It can easily be removed, or it can be sort of shaken enough that people will want to remove it and sort of like change the way things are, and like, I guess, change the status quo, if you will. And so uh what the that's why like people having this sort of mentality of like, oh, people will change eventually, is kind of like hoping that these people will understand what they do is bad, but the thing is, they know that what they're doing is bad, but they know they can also get away with it, is what
It's
I'm trying
wishful
to say.
thinking, bro. That's what
Yeah,
I
so
feel.
it's,
Like I feel like people that don't get reprimanded for the bad things that they do is like, oh, I hope that this guy changes someday. Oh, he's not.
yeah,
He's not. If he doesn't get a slap on the wrist, like Daryl mentioned before, he's gonna do it again and again and again. That's why most of the problems that are happening nowadays are happening over and over again. It's because
yeah,
they're not getting the penalties
yeah.
that comes with their actions.
And also because the politicians are running things are very sort of like, they're masterminds, I guess. You get a really well good manipulators.
They're
And so,
dangerously flexible.
no,
Let's
that's
just say
why,
that.
and that's why for me, like they don't, there's like, we don't have a contestant that a contestant, like, it's like a fucking American Idol. We don't have a contestant that has a like a real drive to change something.
Yeah.
It's like a sort of like, I will do this for you guys, but I just want to be voted. I'll,
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
once in
that's
position, it's like, oh well, I'll we'll get to that later. First, economy first.
you're
And then
100%
4 years
on the
later,
money.
bye.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, my term ended, so I couldn't change what I set out to do.
Right. Yeah. You
Well,
are 100% on the money there. I think that's what political centrism is, though.
Oh
It's
my god.
people thinking these politicians. Most of them are just defenders of the status quo.
Yeah.
So they're centrists because centrism isn't one thing. It's whatever
Yeah.
is the
Whatever.
status
Yeah.
quo right now.
Yeah.
So they don't stand for anything. They just stand for winning. So they'll just perpetuate.
Well, yeah. So
And
it's,
that's
yo,
both
for real
sides.
though,
So there's
Bernie should have
not
won,
many
man.
like genuine people that believe in things.
yeah. Especially I think in
So
Western countries, it's kind of like a sort of like a Wild West here, where like it seems like it's structured, but really it's like, hey, yo, survival of the fittest, bro. Whoever gets the money gets the money.
It's a fuck
right.
fest, bro.
I mean,
Yeah.
literally, the whole world protested, and then what happened? Like, it took them like what,
Yeah,
fucking weeks before.
exactly.
Like, it was
No one
incredible.
listened.
It's like,
They
yo,
they don't want change of any kind either way,
yeah.
one way or another. They just want everything to become the same stale thing.
That's why well, I guess they want to keep the idea of peace, but it's not really peace, is it? It's more passive war.
Their idea of peace or their
It,
idea of the status quo being
it,
perfect.
it's more of a
It's
passive
controlled.
war.
It's very
Yeah,
controlled.
it's very processed. It's all like
Step by
um
step. And then, yeah.
And the
and
funny thing is, whenever the West sort of like sees like countries who take more or different approach, or more
affirmative action.
more affirmative action, yeah, more forceful approach, it's like, oh, they're bad, they're fucking dictators, or
They
they're
seem extremists.
People,
extremists.
They
Yeah, that's the word.
yes,
exactly. That's exactly what they say. They see like remember like in the first like pandemic when it first hits like the first lockdown.
yeah,
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Italy sent
yeah,
the army in the streets
Yeah, shut
Put
everything down.
everybody in their house.
Yeah,
They're not
China too.
messing around.
China too. Boarded up all the walls, everything.
Everything. It's a pandemic. It's serious. Everybody's got to stay home. That's it.
And everyone is laughing about it.
Yeah.
But here's like, bro, it's no big deal, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, it's just that she needs the sniffles, bro, and you'll be over by next week, bro.
I think
that's it, bro.
I want to talk more about, you guys are very much right about the whole extremism thing. Like, when you're afraid of the change that this other country will bring through, like, your people knowing that this country exists, you just say, oh, but they're extreme. Oh, you know, like,
it's a threat. It's like they're being extreme. Yeah.
It's American propaganda that's been happening for years and years about, well, I'm going to mention it because we talked about it previously, but communism is often told, like, they say, oh, the Chinese are communists. No, they're not. Aesthetically, they are.
Yeah.
But they're the most capitalist thing that exists on Earth. They're authoritarian.
Biggest capitalist country on the planet.
Like, it's ridiculous. It's just, people don't understand these words, these ideologies. So they just group everything: fascism, communism, anarchy. They say it's just breaking windows. Like, they don't understand these things. So they just group them all up as being the extreme, and everything that's the extreme is dangerous. And everything has to be like mediated or uncertain, or just, you know, everything has to be the status quo, basically.
Yeah.
So it confines the conversation to be, oh, do you want milk toast red or milk toast blue?
Yeah. It's a matrix. It's extreme.
The politicians in like democratic countries, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, like, the countries that put free speech and voting liberty the priority, right? Like America, Canada, all the like the North American countries, like people that believe in democracy, right? These people govern through their emotions.
Yeah, I think so.
They establish rules based on how they feel.
Yeah.
They establish laws and based on how they think and how they feel. But logically, it might not be logical at all.
It's not even moral sometimes. It's not even moral.
Yeah. It's not even more. Like, bro, listen. I want you to laugh with me here for a second, bro. Like, if you go to any other country in Europe right now, like you go to New Zealand, they just lifted.
Oh shit! That's a New Zealand.
New Zealand in Europe.
Well, sorry. What did I say? Did I say New Zealand? What the fuck? I said
in England.
Oh, it's in the Netherlands. Sorry, bro.
No, it's in the Netherlands.
Okay.
Sorry. I always get mixed up between these two. I don't know.
That's okay.
So if you go to like the country like the Netherlands or something, like you go to like a European country who like started the lockdown way before us. Like they closed everything down way before us. They closed all the shops and they put like heavy restrictions from the very beginning. They're free. They're out in the open. They're walking around. The mask restrictions have been lifted off. The social distancing have been lifted off. All those stores are open. Travel is accessible, bro.
All the Nordic countries handled it like pros, and they're done.
They're done, bro. Bullshit.
Like, I'm gonna stand socialism again, but those countries mastered it. They cured their capitalist illness with a bit of socialism.
Well, they are the most socialist country out there.
Yeah, exactly, and I think they're perfect. I think they're handling.
They govern by fact and law and logic and logic, bro. They govern by fact and logic. They don't govern by how they feel, bro. You say Trudeau, bro. You see Trudeau when he speaks. every single. Yo, Daryl is gonna believe me on this one. Every single press conference, bro, that Trudeau is on, bro, he speaks like a spineless man.
I agree though, because
he speaks like a floating, like, you know, those like floating like characters.
He's wishy-washy. He's just like
that's it right now.
I agree. Yeah.
You know, funny enough, because I was talking about this, I wanted to start this topic because I remembered a time when I was in CEGEP. I was in this French grammar tutoring thing. This girl was asking me, like, because the president of Philippines just got elected, right?
Right.
So Duterte got, you know, he's a pretty firm person, as in like
savage.
what he says he wants. Okay, so he knows he's not like one of those fuckers who just listens to some retarded shit in the media and whatever. He just does what he knows what's right, and he fucking drives through. And so when you know, when terrorists was like running around Philippines and fucking everything up, he's like, "Yo, we will, you either fucking give up or you're all dead."
We'll
He
kill
said,
you in the streets.
so people like in my school were like we were talking about. I was like, "Oh, yo, you know the president of Philippines is a dictator." I'm like, "What the fuck you talking about? What would you do?" If a fucking bunch of terrorists were chilling around in your fucking country, legit killing people from international waters, from everywhere, and also killing people that live in your own country, what the fuck would you do in that situation? Would you try to negotiate? Would you just like leave let them? No, man, you fucking
No, bro.
eradicate the bastards. Because
Exactly, bro. Yo, he's the one that fought like the war on drugs, bro.
you know what I'm saying?
Remember
Yeah,
before he was like, yo, bro, drugs is like a big problem in our country, bro. People are
yeah.
using it
He was
very lethal
he was
stuff.
done. He was
And
like,
he's like, all right, so whoever's using, is gonna
yeah.
die.
Yeah, he's like, no, if you're using you either give up this whole bullshit or
Yeah,
you're going to jail or you're dying. If you fight
you
back, you're
die.
dead. Like that's it.
That's it.
So like he gave you a choice, two
And it went
choices.
down, bro.
Yeah,
It went down.
and so like for me, like granted, the whole idea of approaching by force is also like a, you know, some people be like, oh yeah, that's a little too extreme. It's like, yeah, but you have to understand the circumstance as well. When you're using fucking kids as like as soldiers, you're using kids to fucking kill people or get killed for a terrorist movement, you got to understand the circumstance. Yeah, now's the time to you know to make an ultimatum, to ask them, to tell them you have two choices: either you give up this bullshit or you're dead.
You
and
gotta make the tough decisions
and so the
sometimes.
funny part is, whenever when speaking of Trudeau, when he went to the Philippines, he was like he started talking about human rights. Yo, man got pissed, bruv. Yo, president got pissed. He's like, this motherfucker comes into my country, man.
Oh,
Starts
this
starts
guy,
chatting
bro.
shit about something that he has no idea what's going on. Like, yo, would you imagine that thing? Like think about it. If you're in a country and there's terrorists in that fucking country, and you had people, your own citizens, being hostage, and the kids of your citizens being used as weapons of, I guess, of mass destruction. Not really mass destruction, but
Warfare.
Yeah,
warfare.
they're
Yeah,
using him as soldiers. Yeah,
it's
they're using
basically a
him.
war crime at the same time. It's like you're
It is.
using them. You're using fucking kids at like 8 years old with fucking
Yeah,
AKs and shit.
child soldiers are a war crime.
Yeah, so like ultimately, like yo, fuck it. Oh yo, if they're doing that, might as well just fucking like it's like giving the cops and the soldiers permission to do their job. Like they're paid to fucking keep the peace. Do it. You know what I'm saying? Like don't
Yeah,
because they were complaining about how in the previous presidents the police there, the military there had basically had one hand tied behind their backs because they were not allowed to kill people due to human rights. And I'm like,
yeah.
okay, fair. But at the same time, think about it. These people are on drugs. They're selling drugs to kids. These kids are holding fucking weapons and started, you know, they're terrorizing the population.
Mhm.
It's way bigger. It is way past fucking human rights, mate. Like these, you should tell these to terrorists, man. They're using kids as fucking as
Bro,
military weapons. That's way past human rights.
like,
I
why would you bring humanity into a situation where there's no humanity at all?
Exactly. So
Like,
it's like it's
why would you bring that? Here's the thing. Here's my argument. Why would you bring justice and humanity and everything that we stand for into a place that don't believe it at all and they're willing to kill you?
um
Tell me
I'm
that.
gonna do the counter argument thing,
all right.
even though it's insane. Uh, your stances are more commonly reasonable, I guess, but I don't believe in abandoning on human values.
Fair.
Uh, at least not even in this context, in the sense that you can dismantle these institutions, these terrorist organizations through, you track down where are they from, what do they want, why do they exist. Most of the time they exist because this country is actually giving them weapons. They
Mm,
exist because they have a religious quest to fulfill. They
mm,
exist because of this other institution. So if you track down the source of it, you can tax that source and you can stop them if you actually care. That's the
but
thing, though, is that most people don't have the balls to be like, okay, we know for a fact that you're funneling weapons. We know for a fact that you're trying to get an enemy so that you could raid this country with your soldiers to then reclaim all that territory and then get the resources from them by invading. So you should be taxed for this. But no one wants to tax those countries because they're like,
a shot in the dark, though.
Yeah,
that's such a shot at, because here's the thing: you're saying that there's always someone behind it. Like, you can't just punish. You can just attack those who do it. There's always someone funding it. You saw someone attack, giving them the resources
for them to.
I agree with that. I'm actually talking about those people. I'm not talking about those who use this. I'm talking about those people that fund, that pay for weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
Those who are responsible. Those who don't deserve to be treated like humans. Because here's the thing: they're responsible for the kids being thrown into war. They're responsible for destroying lands, property, families, everything. They're destroying everything. Not that you shouldn't punish the foot soldier for what the general commanded.
Yes.
You should go after the general, and you should punish the troop.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Obviously, because he did some fucked up shit. He's human after all. He can think, right? He has critical thinking, so he should be punished. But he should be punished humanely. You shouldn't be punished like a savage, who gave the order to
No, but that's why his style was sort of he gave him the option. That's why he gave him a warning. He gave him either you stop this. That's why I said give him a warning beforehand. If you stop this, you're good. We'll arrest your ass, and then that's it. But they chose to retaliate instead. So, in response to that, it's like, hey, yo, fuck it. I already gave you the option. If you
that's fair. Fight. It's fair.
That's why I think. Also, I think to the point that Phil was talking about how you could tax or stop the potential the sellers of these weapons. The thing is, by the time that they we discover who and where they are, there's gonna be a fuck ton of fucking weapons already sold. You know what I'm saying? So it's like sort of deal with what's in direct line of sight right now, and then once this problem A is figured out, then we tackle the problem B. Whereas
but my view is that problem A never gets solved, because even in the case where you're talking about where you kill all the people with the weapons and you kill those foot soldiers and you kill them, there's going to be new ones. There's always a new head when you cut off the Hydra. And that's the thing. It's an industry. It's a machine. It turns around. It turns out more constantly. As long as there are living people, they'll churn out more of these people for this belief or this institution. So you have to get behind what's giving the dollar, what's moving this stuff around, and for what purpose. And often it's actually very obvious who it is. It's not like a shadowy secret. It's all very, very
clear. But in most cases it is.
To compare, because you could compare this. Funny enough, you could compare this whole terrorism act to COVID, because they're both fucking parasites. Anyways, so you could compare, say in a COVID instance, for example, here in Canada.
Okay.
My problem was, say, problem A is the problem that's going on, the COVID cases in Canada, and the problem B is the source where it came from, right? So wherever outside of the country. My point was, we seal off the borders, right? Seal off the borders, lock down, and eradicate everything that's problem A. So the problem inside will be dealt with. So ultimately, when you reopen the borders, every single person that comes in that has remnants of problem B can all be assessed beforehand. So ultimately, it's saying you don't have to fight the battle at two fronts. So you have assessed one fucking problem, and then you'll deal with the other.
But
full force.
I understand what
fighting
you're right. If we're talking about COVID, the thing is, if we're talking about soldiers and people that are being sent without their knowledge, they're being manipulated by this bigger industry, really.
Well, exactly.
Are you gonna wipe out those people and then move on to the?
No. I'm not saying to wipe them out. I'm saying you since you cleanse the
you
entire
arrest
country.
them.
Yeah, you arrest them. Exactly. Yeah.
Sequester them.
Exactly. I'm not saying.
killing them.
No, I'm not saying killing is like the option, the initial option. Like you motherfucker swim in and just fucking drop him like across the fucking.
With like he's like dual AK-47s ready to shoot everybody.
You have all the men at the corner of like the shores there. Like
shit.
if
he's waiting on the shores of the Philippines with two AKs.
Yeah, if you see a dude swim, just fucking drop him right there, bro. No, that's
drop
not what
his ass.
What I'm saying, like ultimately you clean up what's going on inside the country first, and then when the newcomers come in,
right,
you assess them first. You have the chance to fully analyze them, because ultimately you won't be battling a battle on two fronts, because you could completely focus on the people coming in.
Right.
And
I don't believe that has to include killing. That's the thing.
No. I'm saying no, but I'm saying like in terms of like
But otherwise, I agree. Yes.
Yeah.
But those responsible should be dead.
Yeah.
Philip, you gotta say that. Like you gotta admit that.
I don't even know about that.
What?
Yeah.
Come on. Okay, Philip. Let me tell you something. Okay. There are people in this world, and I say there are people in this world that are responsible for so many deaths, so many lives.
Yes.
And they could have avoided it, but they didn't, because they did it out of greed or money or whatever their motive was.
Definitely.
And they're still out there, and they're living and breathing, and they have no repercussions, no punishment, no nothing.
Right.
These people deserve to be put underground at this moment because they are responsible for so much destruction. And there's a limit, because here's the thing. It is forgivable. Anything is forgivable, but has a limit. Or you can't just forgive someone that like shot up a school and killed 40 kids, bro. Come on, bro.
I think
how can you forgive that? Like mentally?
Because they have issues, because they're not well, and they need to be treated for those things. And by treated, I don't think a bullet through their head changes them or makes them better people in the end. I don't think you're solving the puzzle that they are by just blowing up the puzzle.
So, yeah,
I get Phil's point, right? Whether or not you're able to solve that puzzle or not, you're letting other people like him running around free. That's the thing. Like,
I get both points. So like ultimately, Phil's point is to say that because ultimately it's not really their fault for being like what they are. It's just because they were born that way and they have mental deficits that ultimately force them to think this way and act this way.
Feel cornered.
But that's different.
Like it's all they have.
And so ultimately, I'm saying. So ultimately, like an actual rehab, as in like actual like psychiatric help would actually help. But then to Misara's argument, I agree that ultimately helping one bad guy doesn't really equal the amount of people that bad guy has killed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like
right. If you weigh things like that, correct.
In terms of morality, utilitarian morality, to kill one person to save four.
But let me tell you something though. I agree with Phil. Only if it's proven that he has a known mental illness and he suffers from it. I agree with that. Because it's not totally their fault, and that's if there's a room for forgiveness.
But my argument is also mental illness is very vague, because mental illness can be a mental deficit that you're born with, but it can also be your social circumstances leading you to have a mental breakdown and then lashing out of pain, out of confusion, anger, being lost, feeling like everyone is pushing you in a
you're thinking about a Polytechnic shoot down.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm saying that's why the whole issue is very, very complex in the sense that
exactly. It's so complex that I don't think a bullet solves it. I think,
but however, granted, it will not solve the bigger issue of the severity of mental illness and how we should approach it, but it will solve the short-term issue where there's less people who are gonna die.
That one,
it
won't solve the
bigger issue,
of them popping up.
But
I feel like the way, because I'll explain why I said that. It's because I see that people's lives are worth more than an experiment.
Yeah,
that's how I see it. You know,
makes sense. Yeah,
because I see that.
You see them as human. You don't see them as numbers. You see them as human.
Exactly. Like I see that was a person with a name. That was a person with a family. That was a person with goals and dreams and hopes. Like that, I wouldn't sacrifice that for an experiment. That's just all I'm saying.
I agree. I don't see it as a sacrifice either. That's
from my point of view. A life is priceless. A life is worth so much more than to just test it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
What do y'all think in the comments, man? You guys make this debate. Shit. Ultimately, this is more a debate between morals, because it's
right, different moral philosophies.
Yeah,
utilitarianism and
because
maxims.
Yeah, because if you value the number of individuals, then I guess killing one bad guy will be better than him killing fucking 40 or plus.
40,
yes. Well, it's the very commonly asked question of like, if a Nazi is walking around, do you punch him?
Yeah. Or the one where you have two train tracks. You have one where there's 4 people.
Of course, the trolley problem.
Yeah. Who would you save and why? You know, it's
right.
Which is the question.
It's not even who would you save, because often it's would you act? Would you risk yourself being involved in the situation? Because a lot of the weight of the trolley problem is if you pull the lever, you actively kill someone.
Yeah.
So you impact the outcome that you could have been not involved with by not reacting. So it also tests your moral compass relating to, do you think that like someone who doesn't act isn't responsible for not acting when they can save someone?
But it's also
in that response, you can look at it in the other way. You can say, I didn't just kill 4 people, I saved the others.
Exactly. Yeah,
you can be seen as someone that saved people. Like there is always casualties in any event. You know what I'm saying? There's always like that sort of percentage of people that don't make it. You know, there's always for any problem. But you will be seen that someone that saved like the majority as a hero, regardless, even if the others died.
Right. You'll be seen as you could either be seen as a hero or seen as a onlooker who didn't act. So I agree in a sense with the trolley problem. Your idea about the trolley problem. It's
that's this idea is just very, very fucking weird, because imagine like say there's a serial killer out there. You have a bullet to his head. Well, you have a gun to his head. You kill him, the person, you'll be renowned as a hero, but your actions is negative because you killed someone, took a life. So ultimately, it's like
just exactly like that person. Remember, like I saw a documentary without cutting you off. I wanted to say I saw a documentary about a prisoner who he was alone in his cell. And one day he met his like new cellmate, right? He just came in, and his cellmate was telling him the story of how he got into prison. Dude molested 25 children.
Damn.
And the thing is, the dude that was sitting next to him, he was in for like burglary or something. He had like 4 years.
Yeah.
And he had only 4 years.
Yeah.
And he killed his cellmate the night of because they refused to like find him another cell, because he got so pissed off because the child molester was trying to like explain himself and why he did
justify his action.
And he's justifying it. So the guy lost it and he told him on the spot, and he showed up in trial. He showed up in front of a court judge. He says, "Do you want me to tell you how I did it?" Because the thing is, like, he did. At the end of the day, I have mad respect for a person like that. Believe it or not, like, it takes courage and balls to judge and to like feel.
I deeply understand.
Like, how can you forgive that? Like, 25 children's lives were
but the thing is,
forever, and they're living with it. You know,
but
how do you forgive that?
But the thing is, say you did something bad, like you killed someone, right, by accident.
Okay.
And you ended up in prison with the dude's son.
Ooh.
So he sees you as the same level of menace, as like he just killed my father, so I'm gonna kill him.
Right.
So it's ultimately the same thing. It's perception.
It's emotional. It's an emotional reaction. Once again, not to corner you, but you're talking about making political decisions based on emotion.
But that's
you're making judgment on the lives of people.
Well, that's
based
why it's
on
like
emotion, which
but it's common sense.
But exactly,
at the end of the day, It's common sense.
But I'm saying, like, would you imagine, like, you killed someone's dad by accident? Like, you're driving around, you hit him with a car, dude dies.
Car crash,
Mm-hmm.
you kill someone. You're in the prison with his son.
Yeah.
His son sees himself as justified.
But you're comparing two situations that are intentional and non-intentional.
No, but the thing is, the point is, the person's dead.
Yeah.
Like, because your situation, for example, he molested the kid, right? But the kids are still alive. So you could argue which one is.
Which is even worse.
What's I'm saying, but then you could argue which one's worse: remove someone's death or someone's ability to remember something horrific. So now you're playing judge, jury, and executioner at the same time. So you're playing God. So now the point is sort of, are you a god, or are you?
Do you see yourself as above the law?
The guy that killed him wasn't God. He was just sending him there.
No, I'm saying, but like, would you imagine? But the thing is, like, would you imagine, like, I killed someone's dad, and then his son kills me, and your brother says, "Oh yeah, you killed my brother, so I'm gonna kill you," and then it's with
right.
You know
it never ends.
So it's ultimately
it's a cycle of emotional vengeance.
Yeah.
That's I think my moral disagreement with your previous points. Though I do understand where you're coming from 100%.
That's why I think a good form of justice. As a third party justice,
exactly. I think
non-biased
justice has to be above human sentimentality.
Human. But unfortunately, nowadays
that's
justice
very difficult.
Nowadays,
that's why we have a justice system. That's why it's so complicated.
Exactly.
That's why there's like so many steps and procedures to go through before determining the fate of someone. Of course,
it's also
very
why
complicated.
Yeah, and further on what you're saying, it's also why in literally every ideological system except for one, there is a justice system.
Yeah.
You know which one doesn't?
Which?
Fascism. Because in that world,
Yeah.
whoever's on top has top say on everything, which is why, objectively speaking, maybe punching a fascist in the street is morally viable. Because on the very premise, they will hurt someone. But that's another moral quandary.
And have no consequences behind it whatsoever because they control everything.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like how could you punish or judge or weigh in the facts with someone that has total power,
right?
And that can do whatever they wish with a wave of his hand, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, fascism is scary because it's I think it's the ultimate evil of man manifested.
Yeah.
Because it's like by its very rules, it's written point form that it is racist and that it is classist and that it dislikes inferior people. It is like built on hate of the other. So it's like an organism that hates organized people. It hates people because it doesn't like people that are different, so people that are not but everyone is different, so it doesn't like people, but it likes the rule over them.
On a final note, though, on justice system, it's funny because there was this whole not really debate, but it's this whole like idea of having robots, AIs, be the judges, the juries, and the executioners because they are unbiased. They are programmed to be sort of they have no emotion really. So you can program them to be ethical and program them to be logical, but you can't program them to be emotional because they're
right.
It's a human factor that only us humans have. So I was throwing this around, and it's funny because a lot of people are like, "Oh no, that'd be too kind of fucked up," because it will remove the human aspect of judging. But the thing is, because like empathy, for example,
right?
Most will understand that shit because it's a human factor where we feel empathy, we understand each other as humans, and we understand that what you did, granted, is wrong. But I know why you did it. Why you did it was right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But however, if you put that in a robot's perspective, say you killed someone because you got robbed, he will see that as just murder. Period. And so 25 years to life.
One person minus one person equals zero.
Yeah.
Thus, one must be eliminated.
Exactly. And so ultimately,
to equate, person must die. It's very it's utilitarian. That's the thing. Machines are utilitarian to the core. and
which makes it funny because there's no form of justice that could be purest a pure
yeah,
form
because
where it's good.
justice is inherently a human concept.
Yeah.
And it comes with human issues. That's why it's not perfect, but we can strive for it to be
Perfect. Yeah.
and make it
You
as
can
close.
try to make it as fair and as
Exactly.
just.
That's why I
Possible,
do think that one human emotion, which you mentioned, is crucial to justice: empathy.
Yeah.
Because empathy is unraveling the thought process of other people and putting yourself in their shoes. So it's like unraveling the equation to understanding each parts. Instead of 1 minus 1, then you see 1 as not valuing 1,
But it is a human
x.
itself. Yeah.
It's x minus x.
Yeah.
So it's an undefined value.
Yeah.
So you change the equation as a whole.
Well, safe to say we won't get monetized anytime fucking soon because we talk politics. But anyways,
yeah,
that's true. But anyways, to end this off because we've fucking hit the hour plus mark.
Hey, man, it's the Speakeasy podcast, bro. You just speak easy what you want,
hey,
bro.
it's what we do. We
chill.
It's New Year's Eve. It's a New Year's Eve special. But
exactly, bro. Tomorrow's a new year, bro, and you should treat it as a fresh start.
Speaking of,
yeah, I wish you all the best.
What are your New Year's resolutions?
Perfecting whatever I didn't perfect this year.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's good.
Which is, well, and what aspect
of my courses, my program, just making like a good progress on my studies and stuff. Physique, like I want to become this sort of like symbol of pure masculinity, bro. Yeah, in this year, like 2021, I just want to look like that sort of like ideal hard work. I put in the effort. I ate the food. You know what I'm saying? Like all the package of just doing the right things and the right steps. And this is what you look like. I want to be that sort of role model, that sort of image of this is what happens when you follow a good regimen, and this is what happens when you put in the work.
He wants to be all might.
You know what I mean?
He wants to be all might.
Yo,
yeah.
Canada smash.
Plus ultra, man.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say this. I watched My Hero Academia, like while I'm like doing like my stationary bike. Like
that's cool.
Like so much drive. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's great.
How could you not be pumped up by a guy that yells out United States and just punches the shit out of me?
So patriotic. It's so patriotic.
Pretty awesome, honestly.
And he goes like this, and he's raising. He's like, "Oh my God, all the things that you've done to my people." And then he gets up and he's.
I'm about to name so many states of America.
Exactly, bro. I'll hit you with the Nevada.
Yo, stay in Nevada,
Delaware.
push in the face, man. How about you, Phil? How about you, Phil? New Year's resolution.
On a more selfish note, I want to feel more like I'm doing something good for the world.
Okay.
I consider it selfish because I want to feel it.
Okay.
No, it's not.
But in what aspect of the world do you mean? Like in like was in what entertainment, in sort of ideology, education?
Any way possible is good, but
have you had a thought of it, like what you want?
But of course, creatively would be very fulfilling. I want to keep creating. This year has been interesting for me in the sense that I've been creating through different mediums.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you know, Dungeons and Dragons is a great creative outlet.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, and we've been talking about a lot of scripts and stuff like that. Like, I like those back and forths a lot because potential intrigues me constantly. So yeah,
But when you say that you want to like help or benefit the world in some kind of way, that itself is beneficial to the people around, like the world.
Right.
It's a good thing. I don't see it as a selfish thing. Even if you don't feel it per se, like just say like I will go to Africa and feed the poor, for example. You know what I'm saying? I may not have feel it, but I've done it.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've done something good.
But it's like he wants to feel it.
I want to feel it. That's the thing. I think I already do things I try to do things for the betterment of the world. I
What
think
is
I
your
faced
priority to
most of it.
feel it?
I want to feel it now.
But the feeling, does it come before the act?
He
Or
got
the
a
feeling comes
feeling.
after the act?
I do not
you
know.
have to do something.
Because
so you have to figure it out. Because if you're seeking emotional satisfaction, it's not necessarily beneficial to the world.
Right, exactly.
Well, exactly. That's why
I think it's selfish because I want to tangibly feel that I'm doing the right thing.
Basically, he's saying he wants an Oscar.
I guess my question would be. What is it? Like, what is it that you want to do exactly? So I can understand.
That's why I asked.
If it's like beneficial. Yeah.
Well,
I'll be back.
Creatively, for example, it would be like making a work and then someone telling me that it's made them happy. It's selfish because I want to believe that I'll have an impact on someone. But it's not completely. It's not like a selfish action in the sense that I want to do something good. I just want to be reassured that I'm doing the right thing in a sense.
But someone like when you describe like selfishness, when you use the word selfish, it means that you're only doing it for the benefit of yourself, or majorly for the benefit of yourself.
Then if it's only that, then I suppose it's not selfish.
Exactly. Like if it's more of like you're benefiting the people around you more than yourself, I guess it considers you can consider yourself selfless instead of selfish.
Okay. Well, I guess you're right. Then I guess it's more selfless. I don't know.
Exactly. That was my point.
My
whole argument.
Thank you for convincing me that I'm actually selfless, Misara.
Because it's not selfish at all. Like even like, for example, like if you're like a big time movie director, which I really hope you guys like make it this far.
I hope so too.
You guys like direct. You guys direct like the biggest movie of the year. Like billions of people like watch it and they loved it, and you guys are like a big time success. And obviously, success reaps reward. You guys are rewarded for that success. But here's the thing: you guys made something that people loved, enjoyed, made their day.
Yeah.
More than you guys made the money. I say like if you guys collab on something this big and make people happy, I see it more as a selfless act than a selfish one. Because if someone that's chasing the money and the fame and all the selfish things that Phil mentioned like earlier, it's half-assed and no one, it's not going to be as liked as much. But if you do it with your heart, and if you do it because you believe in it, and you do it because it's your dream, passion, you want to make people happy, and you want people to discover you, I think it's more selfless, not selfish at all.
That was one of the main reasons why I wanted to start the production company I'm starting, because I wanted to ultimately, one, to deliver a message to sort of like give people entertainment, because I don't know, people who know me claim to think that I'm a very good, funny lad.
Very.
I'm a very entertaining person, so I was like,
you make me shit myself. If that makes me feel better.
So ultimately, I want to share this gift of mine to the world, and so I wanted to have my friends do it as well. So I wanted ultimately to create a platform where people could sort of escape reality and have a nice fun time to sort of to enjoy maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever, an hour and a half of just pure excitement and like thrill, but at the same time also creating jobs where we are right now, so ultimately it helps people immediately around us, and at the same time
you're putting food on the table for everybody else.
Exactly.
How is that selfish?
And at the same time to have fun with my friends creating something I enjoy. So it's killing three birds with one fucking stone. Granted, is a big fucking boulder to carry, but I look forward to doing it.
Hey man, I want you guys to let you know I'm a good actor. I'm amazing. I can make it or break it in any movie.
Oh Jesus!
So. And you guys, and I haven't seen the finished product of the video.
Oh, I didn't send you. Oh, I didn't send you.
No, I didn't get a copy.
Because I put it on private because of it had the copyright music on it, so I couldn't.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I understand why. It's just that I was curious on how you guys saw my talent. How do you guys think? like I actually want to know like what you guys like thought of.
Okay, to
my
be
role.
honest. I want to be honest.
Yeah.
You're too stiff.
Agreed.
You're too stiff.
I think, I don't know if that's the appropriate actor's note I would give you, but dance or learn to
loosen up,
loosen on the spot.
Because like right now you're like when you move is like it's very like bodybuilder like, so it's like very stiff, right? It's very like
It looks
blocky.
like you're at a competition. Like you're like
that's why
like you say your lines, and sometimes you say them with the good intent, but the body posture doesn't reflect it.
The body language.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
You know, instead of
I agree. I'm beat up.
It's like there's a beat.
Right.
It's like a pull up your ass. It's a pull up your ass, and you try not to fucking let it loose. You know what I'm saying?
Like I would definitely cast you as a bodybuilder without a second's hesitation.
But
I couldn't cast you as someone getting beat up.
I will work on it. I will work on this. That's what I want. I wanted to get the comments so I can see what are the parts that I was lacking in that video, and I wanted to see it so I could see it for myself as well.
Yeah.
Sure.
But
I'll send it to you.
Sure. Yeah. We'll have a shared screening if you want.
But feel free to hit me up and like
we have
all your projects and stuff. Like I'm very interested in what you guys are creating, and I want to be part of it.
Awesome.
We have a future script that we wanted you to be like one of the muscles.
Yeah.
Play one of the muscles. So like your physique is perfect for that role.
Yeah.
I'll get jacked as fuck by the time you guys send me that script.
The thing is, like, because I was negotiating with the director. Fuck, I'm talking like a producer right now. I negotiate with the director.
Bro.
I negotiate with the director how we're gonna approach the script itself, because it's like we were trying to figure out who could play what. Of all our
You're talking about Hugo, right?
Yeah, Hugo. When we're talking about was it Keep Coming?
Keep Coming, yeah.
So like one of the stories is basically, well, you know, it's a kind of horror-ish Groundhog Day type story.
It's a bit of also a undercover superhero film in a sense.
A bit, yeah. So basically,
I'm the Punisher.
No, you're like one of the lackeys, the big dudes who like
you're one of the goons.
You're like
the sculpture. You'd rock it.
Yeah.
Dude, I could be a good goon, man. That was real. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the role right now, and it's nice in my head. Right?
But that's why you know, if you have any friends who are legit like actors who want to act as well, to all of you, and like I'm talking to the public, to all of you.
Anyone in the comments, anyone who's
DM me if you want to.
We're very open to collaborating. You just hop on in and we'll.
They're casting their actors right now. You guys should show up for the interview.
One thing though, if you guys really want to act, please be serious about it.
Oh, of course, yeah. Like don't like show up.
Yeah, don't flake.
Because granted,
the project like lies on your availability and your like dedication to it.
Because granted, right now we're not getting paid, but at the same time, it's also a learning experience. So ultimately, you're not only helping us, but you're helping yourself, sort of like.
Right, you're getting work experience,
and also like you get to project your talent. So people out there who actually are gonna pay you might wanna, you know.
Yeah, you will be scouted if you do well, and it has.
And eventually, when we do get paid, or
we will get paid.
As people start getting paying, we're gonna get unions and all that shit going in. It's crazy, bro. So that is one of my New Year's resolutions, is to fucking stay consistent. Be basically both of you matched up. So physically, I want to go back to working out as well. Unfortunately, the like gyms are still closed. So I'm not.
Yeah, I'm still down about that, but I do.
Man, as soon as the shit opens back up, or as soon as the weather is nice, man. If you know what, the worst part of it is that it hit us during winter, like the worst of it.
Yeah.
Because if it was like midsummer, like we could have at least like ran outside, played soccer, like thrown a football or something. You know what I'm saying? Like do something.
Well, I think the first wave hit us perfectly because it was spring, so no one was doing anything anyways in spring. And then summer
we kind of ruined it, and it.
But then summer we got out, so it was fun. It was,
True.
But yeah, ultimately, I wanna stay consistent physically. That's why I'm gonna ask you guys and also another dude if you guys want to go running around the Mount Royal sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Pleasure.
Of course. Of
And
course.
um and also stay consistent with the amount of projects we have and
Yeah.
keep them, getting more and more experience, more and more projects in. Yeah,
I'll put you on that Demon Slayer program, bro. Trust.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm trying to be one. Was it a 185? Oh no, 180 muscle. So I'm trying to be like middleweight type.
The best advice I can give you, bro, is forget about that number.
No, I
The
know I'm
best
not,
advice.
but I'm rounding up
Yeah,
like
go ahead.
it's more my area I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be like fucking massive or like lean. I'm just like trying to be like, I have fucking I'm built.
It's the shape that you're looking after, most of all. Because here's the thing, I know a bunch of people that go like, oh, bro, like, oh, if only I was like 200 plus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's
They
yeah.
just want to have that number with them. Like anybody that asks them about their like their activities or something, they strictly reply, "I'm 200 pounds." Like,
It's
don't mess
easy.
with
It's
me, I'm
easy.
massive.
It's easy. It's fucking easy.
But it's not just the number of. It's not your body weight mostly. It's just it's the shape. It's how you look that you're after mostly.
Well, yeah. Most importantly, I want the shape. But also, I want to feel healthy and be able to lift
Strong.
stuff up. Yeah, strong. So I can. Ultimately, it's longevity. You all have one body. You know what I'm saying? So
Uh,
treat it right.
you
Yeah.
guys buy a one-way ticket to Mount Mukubu, and I'll see you there.
Like
Train like ninjas.
I'm already sober, so I don't. My liver's fine, hopefully.
Mm.
And
Shoot,
so,
hopefully, what'd you do?
huh? What?
Man said hopefully like he was worried. I saw like a sweat like dripping down his sweat.
Well, hopefully, bro.
He's
You
like,
never know.
bro, you have no idea what did I do.
The antibiotics I'll be taking might drop the motherfuckers,
Hey
man.
man, shit.
But anyways, so yeah, happy New Year's to all of you guys.
Yeah.
Hey
Take
man,
care.
you
Uh,
guys like if you guys have like make up plans, bro. Make up plans. Go out there. Just like if you guys like want to go grab sandwiches like at
Yeah.
11:59 or something, don't hesitate.
Sure.
I'll hit you up. I'll hit you up with your car.
Yeah.
Hit you up
Bro,
with
you
your car.
gotta be. Bro, I wanted to ask, what model do you drive?
I used to drive a Santa Fe, a Hyundai Santa Fe, so like a four by four all wheel drive.
Okay, you bought a Hyundai, didn't you?
Sorry?
You bought a Hyundai.
Yeah, Hyundai. Yeah.
Okay. Bro, stay away from those Korean cars, bro.
No, it
Stay away
works. It
from them.
works.
The old ones are even crappier, man.
It works well. It's just that because it was fucking cheap. Also, it's like, and also it was my neighbor that sold it, so I was like, all right, fucking, why not?
I was an old dude too.
Yeah, it was 2008, I think the model. It had
Uh,
heated seats, everything. It had a fucking new radiator. Everything was like fucking new engine.
here's the thing about like Korean cars is that they sometimes like I've seen it a lot. I watch a lot of shit, on YouTube about cars and stuff. So I know a bunch, but like um, what the Koreans do is that they put like nice features in their like basic trim cars. Like if you take like a Hyundai Accent for example,
Yeah,
like their basic sedan, you can
yeah,
see that they have heated seats. Like it's
yeah,
standard on all their like trims. Like
yeah,
even the luxury trims. Like if you go to like Genesis, their luxury brand I think for
yeah,
Hyundai. Bro, they got everything. They slam a bi-turbo V6 in the under the hood that
yeah.
you could go 400 horsepower on that bitch. Like here's the thing. But if you're looking for reliability, if you're looking for something that's gonna last you a long time and it's gonna cost you so less, you're actually making up for the investment. I'll tell you what though,
How much?
the
What'd
craziest
you what'd
shit
you
I've
get?
seen.
What'd you get?
I got a Camry,
Okay. How much?
a Toyota Camry.
How much you get?
I
How
got
much
it
was it?
for 3400,
Okay.
and but because it was low mileage, right? It was like 97K.
Okay.
It was
It's very
nothing,
low.
and
Yeah.
I got it I got a 2004 one.
You said Toyota Camry, yeah?
Yeah,
Yo, then I spit bars on the Toyota Camry.
Hey, you made it up for that. You made it up for that.
bro, the Camry is the sedan to
Yo,
have,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. If you listen to my one track, my one song, I legit fucking talk
Uh,
about Toyota Camrys.
bro,
Pretty
they're
funny.
bulletproof, bro.
I mean,
you can't break those cars, man. That's why they're a little bit pricey than the other ones.
Yeah,
I gotta admit.
But I had it legit. I didn't choose it. I was just like, yo, fuck it. It's right here, so I might as well have it.
Mm-hmm.
But like like I said before, like for me right now, it's not a priority. Like if I'm getting something, I might get like something more of a I don't know, low end caliber, like a Tesla.
You will pay. Yo, listen, I'm gonna
Tesla
tell you,
model,
you're gonna sell your shirt trying to fix that car. Do not buy a Tesla.
Tesla Model 3. Let's get it. Let's go,
Dude,
Elon.
you're gonna.
Let's
How
go,
many
Elon.
times I have to?
Let's go, Elon. Let's go, Elon.
Oh my God, you have no idea. You're gonna sell your shirt trying to fix that car, bro.
No, but no, I'm not getting a car anytime soon. To be honest, like right now, it's like especially with COVID, I'm not even fucking going anywhere. So
dude, why don't you get a bike, like an actual motorcycle?
No, fuck that.
Why not?
Because I had the idea because I was driving. I used to drive in the Philippines sometimes because you could do whatever the fuck. But here it's just so much fucking hassle, man. Like legit, especially in the summer, you have to wear like actual gear. You have to wear like, jackets and stuff. Yo, would you imagine at plus 40 degrees wearing a fucking leather jacket and a bunch of like denim jeans? You'll lose your shit, man.
Bro, you're going like 100 kilometers an hour on a bike on the highway with wind in your face, bro. It's a thrill.
No, you
don't care about anything else.
You enter between your ball sack. You're just fucking hot as balls. You're just like, oh, I'm done.
But that's why they got cooling seats.
Cooling seats. Heated seats on the car, cooling seats on the motorcycle. Let's get it.
In a bike, man.
But yeah, so yeah, I think we're gonna end it there. Fuck, it's been 2 hours. It's been 2 hours. It's been 2 hours.
Yeah. Poor editors.
Yo, don't worry. I'm gonna edit. I have 2 weeks
for you
isolation.
Could you edit the part where I lagged for like half an hour?
Yeah, I'll keep it there. I'll make it into a clip. I'll make it into a clip.
Repetition. We should do like a bloopers.
Yeah.
It's just the title of the video will be like Miss Sarah and it's bad drunk and shit.
If any editor out there, if Jason, you want to edit this shit, do that, man. Make a compilation of 2019, 2020. Was it 2020?
Yeah.
Funniest podcast moments.
Hey man, that's what's up. That's what's up.
But yeah, so yeah, it's been your boy, The Real Deal. You know what I'm saying?
I'm Phil.
I'm Miss Sarah. It's your boy.
Yeah, so follow us in the links. All the links will be in the description down below. Share this fucking thing. Masara, share this shit. Phil, share this shit. I'm gonna share it, and then we'll try to hit I don't fucking know, 300 on Instagram. Views. Yo, right now, bro, we're like 50, bro. We out here.
Bro, 50 is closer to 1 million than 0.
Voila.
That is mathematically true.
Oh,
because you didn't take into account the negative numbers. That's why.
Negative numbers, yeah, the negative numbers. Fucking hell, man. The fucking negative numbers. But yeah, so comments down below on the subject at hand. We had a debate. I don't know. You might call us a bunch of doorknobs. I don't give a shit, man.
We'd love to hear what you have to say.
You guys can call us stupid all you want. It's a Speakeasy podcast. That's what we do.
Yo, negative comments fuel me. It fuels me.
I love it, Rob.
Please challenge your opinions.
Yes.
But yeah, so take care, and hopefully we'll see each other next year.
Yeah.
On a high note.
No, you didn't
the universe exists.
You didn't just pull that joke on us right now. This guy. All right, I'll see you guys next year. This guy ends the podcast.
I'll see you guys next year. Peace.
Peace.
Take care.
Oh man, but yeah, so yeah, you guys take care and see you next year. Peace. Happy New Year. Oh.